welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how I bake my face because we are playing with a brand new powder. I am so excited to show you guys. This is the One Size Ultimate Setting Powder, and I bought the shade, the lightest shade, 'cause I think there's only 2 shades. So I bought the lightest one, the translucent one. The name is like right on top of the box. Torpe. So I'm going to be trying out a new product, but I'm also going to be showing you guys my complexion, how I apply my foundation, concealer, cream contour, bronzer, and all that good stuff. So I'm so excited because I'm playing with a new product and we're both going to figure it out if it's a bomb or not. And I'm also going to be taking pictures with it because it does claim to have no flashback. And also I'm going to be wearing it throughout the entire day and kind of checking in with you guys ever so often to see how the powder is doing. When I saw that Patrick Starr was coming out with a new powder, I was all up for it because I love him. He does use a lot of makeup, like he literally cakes on makeup. And so when I saw he was coming out with the powder, I just had to have it just because I also like a full coverage beat as well. Not all the time, but only the days that I do go out to go do stuff, like go to an event like a wedding or anything like that. So with that said, let's go ahead and get started and start to apply some products. Yay! Okay, honestly, when it comes to makeup, I absolutely love the face of makeup. Like whenever I'm done doing my eyeshadow and all that stuff, I just feel like foundation like definitely puts everything together. When I used to do makeup a lot on clients, the eyeshadow, people would always be so scared and be like, oh my god, I don't know if I like it. And then you put on their foundation, bronzer, and everything, and they were like obsessed with their makeup. For primer today, I'm gonna go into the usual, the Too Faced Hangover Replenishing Primer. And I love to use a primer underneath my makeup. To me, I don't know, it really does, I feel like it really does protect my skin from the foundation, and it really makes my makeup last a lot longer. So for me, normally I'm oily in my T-zone, so I always like to apply it just in those areas, especially around my cheeks is where I have the most textured and I have pores right there. And I've been breaking out a lot. I'm like, why? Your girl hasn't been wearing any masks lately and all these zits are coming up. Like, what the hell? So for foundation, I'm going into the A La Mode foundation brush. If you guys see my previous video, I've been raving about this brush. I just feel like it really applies my foundation so nicely, and I just love the way that my skin looks after I've used this. I'm gonna go into the usual as always. The Too Faced Born This Way Matte 24-Hour foundation in the shade Warm Beige, and I am mixing it with the Dose of Colors Meet Your Hue foundation in the shade 112 Light. So I do mix both of these together because I'm not pale, but yet I'm not too tan as well. My tan has definitely gone away. I have to go back and self-tan again. So I am mixing both of these. I'm going to go into a beauty blender to a damped beauty blender to go in and blend out my concealer. But this brush, I don't know, I just really like the way that it applies my foundation. Like it doesn't feel heavy or cakey, and it just, I don't know, I just don't know how to explain it. I've just been really obsessed with it. It was nice and sunny earlier today, and now it's like rainy, like super like cats and dogs type of rain. I also like using the brush because I feel like it does apply my foundation really well, like to medium coverage, medium to full coverage, but it feels very lightweight on my face, so it doesn't feel like I have so much makeup. I feel like a beauty sponge does that as well, but I'm telling you guys, I don't know what it is with this brush, but I just love the way that it applies it. For concealer today, I'm going to go into the Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Skin. This is a very high coverage. So I've been loving it. I don't know, the combination with those foundations and with this concealer in the shade 2.4. I've just been loving the way that my complexion has been looking. Like I mentioned before, the previous video that I just uploaded for you guys, I talk about it like briefly in the intro of that video, and it is really full coverage. I really want you guys to see this. Like it's super heavy and a little bit goes such a long way, so that's why I always kind of scoop it out like this. And then with whatever I have, I'll start to apply it here. But I just love it because it makes this under eye look really, really nice without it looking super cakey, even though it is really full coverage. But I don't know what it is with this concealer. I just love it so much. whenever I apply concealer, this is normally the areas that I apply my concealer. The forehead, under the eyes, chin. I really don't consider my forehead being too big, so I do go up a little bit higher with the highlight. If you do have a big forehead, definitely do not apply too much highlight because that's really gonna make your forehead stand out. Okay, so the concealer is on. Now, one of the tips that I love to use, you guys, is that I love to keep my concealer like this and let it sit for a little bit while I cream contour, and then I go back in to blend out the concealer. I just feel like the concealer lays a lot nicer. If you do have a concealer that does dry pretty fast, and I definitely recommend you to blend that out right away. But this one definitely has a little bit of playtime. So I'm going to go into cream contour, and I've been loving my Makeup Forever HD Stick Foundation in the shade Y505. Yeah, Y505. And I just love it. It's meant for foundation, obviously, but I like the feeling of it. It makes my skin feel like skin. So I like to go ahead and go behind my hand and just kind of dust off some of the product because we don't want it to be too heavy. I want it to be kind of like we're applying bronzer to the skin. Very lightweight. Like, I want people to think that I have naturally contoured cheeks like this. And then I do go into the forehead to make it a little bit bronzy. So I'm going to go into that damped beauty sponge, and I'm going to just start to just pat and push the concealer into the skin. And this is like my favorite part. I don't know about you guys, but I love concealer. Concealer just like literally seals the deal. Like, look at that. Whoa. I love that. I love how it looks nice and like flat and flawless. It's definitely my favorite part. That's why I just obsessed over concealer. So I'm currently on the website, you guys, and this powder that I have, you actually can choose 2 sizes. So he has the regular, which is the big size, and I think the packaging is super cute. This one runs for $30, and then what I like about his website, you guys, is that you can buy like a travel size, which I think you can do with a lot of other brands as well, like at Sephora, like the little makeup aisle that they have before you pay. There's a bunch of like travel size items, but I love how he does have that, and you can, it's like right next to each other. So the travel size is $16. And with that one, you get 24 ounces. And then with this one, which feels actually pretty heavy, you get 1.2 ounces. So you have translucent, which is the one that I bought. And then you have a dark deep for darker complexions. So I wonder why he only made 2 colors. You know what I mean? I'm really curious to see more videos on for the deeper complexions, and for this one for like lighter shades, for somebody who is like extremely pale. So I thought that was pretty interesting how he only did 2 powders, but I've been hearing really good things about it, so we'll see. So I've heard that you can close this and then you can shake it, and then you can open this up and you have powder, but maybe because mine is full, I don't know. That was kind of awkward. Okay, maybe if I go like this. Let me just go ahead and just go like this. Okay, so I poured out a bunch of powder. But I've seen that concept where you just close this and you can just shake it and a bunch of powder will come out, and it would just sit on top without it spilling, which I think is a genius idea. And then you can just close this up, y listo, and you slap on the top and close it up, which I think is pretty awesome. So I do like that concept actually. So I'm gonna go into the sponge and I'm just gonna pick up some powder. Now I'm just gonna push it into the skin, and this is the baking. Ooh. This is the baking technique. It's actually pretty on the lightweight. Wow. I'm set the areas where we did place the concealer, and I like the color of this. Wow. The reason why I'm so in shock is because the shade Vanilla from the Anastasia one comes off really light on me, and as soon as I apply it to my skin, it looks like really white. And this actually looks nice with my complexion. And I didn't buy the puff because I think the puff is like $14, which I'll post a picture here for you guys if you're interested on what I'm talking about. I think that's like $14, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of a lot. So for a puff, I just rather use my sponge, my makeup sponge. I mean, I always use my sponge to conceal everything, so I'm like, why not? Now, the reason why I do sometimes decide to bake, because there's times where I'll just pick up some powder with the brush and just kind of dust it on top. Normally I do that on the days where I'm like Not going anywhere fancy, literally just like somewhere really, really quick, but I don't want to look dead. I'll just, you know, apply some powder on my skin. But for the days where I'm like super glammed and I want my makeup to last the entire night, because I am combo to oily, so for me, if I don't set my face, you guys, and I come and I'm like maybe like 3 hours in, 4 hours in, I'm literally like a grease ball. So for me, it's super important to set my makeup with powder. I know there's like a love and a hate relationship with powder with some people, but for me, because I am combo to oily, I have to have it. So far, you guys, with the powder, it feels very lightweight. I feel like it looks really good on the skin. It kind of has like a nice beige undertone to it. So I'm really curious to see how this would look on someone who is super like pale. Or anybody who's maybe a little bit darker than me. On my face right now, it looks really pretty. I actually really do like the way that it looks. So if you are my complexion right now, I think you will really enjoy the color of this powder. Okay, so while we do let this sit for a little bit, I'm gonna go in with some bronzer. So if you've been following me for a while, you know that I've been loving the matte and poreless normal to oily powder in the shade 330. Yeah, 330 Toffee. I'm gonna go into the Morphe M405 contour bronzer brush. I love this brush to apply my bronzers. So I'm gonna go ahead and just set the areas where we place the cream contour, because we do want to set this as well. And with whatever powder we have left on our face, you guys, what I like to do is just dust it. You guys will see here in just a second how I do it. But I do also try to apply it all over my face to keep my face nice and like matte. Now we can't completely stop our natural oils from peeking through on our skin when we're dancing, you know, and like moving around, or else we would die, you know, because we have to have natural sweat coming through, you know. So I definitely have to make sure that I am set with powder. Okay, so for blush, I'm gonna go into the Morphe. This is the blush trio in the shade Pop of Peach. So I'm gonna go into this guy right here, and then this the shade called Creator. And I'm going into my Sigma F10 powder brush to apply my blush. I'm going into the Morphe R11, and we're gonna do, you guys, is just dust off the remaining powder. And I kind of like to disperse it into the skin with whatever I have left. I would definitely say though that it does grab onto some dry patches on your skin. I feel like with a lot of translucent powders that can normally happen. I can definitely see, like, not a lot, but like just right here, my forehead, I guess a BITCH forgot to exfoliate really well. But I can see, like, it's not like very noticeable unless I go like this and I'm like, okay, I see it. Pero de lejos, I don't think anybody will be able to see that, but I can definitely see that it does grab onto some dry patches. So just make sure your skin is nice and exfoliated. Right now, let's go ahead and take a picture with Flash. And the phone that I have is the iPhone 11. Okay, so that's with Flash. Wow, okay. So there's absolutely no flashback. Hallelujah. So the powder is absolutely bomb in my opinion, and I think it's going to do really well throughout the entire day. So I will check back in with you guys in about 3 hours. Yeah, I'm going to say about 3 hours. And then we will close out the video a little bit later. So yeah, so far so good. Hey guys, so I didn't come back in 2 hours. It's actually 6:42. It's going to be 7 o'clock. So I've had this powder on for a good amount of time, actually, like about 5 hour-ish, around that time. So I didn't want to do it in 2 hours because honestly, you guys, my skin was still looking pretty flawless, and I think it actually still does, to be honest. I took the dogs out to the bathroom, I literally did my laundry, I cleaned, so I was not really sweating because it's really cold right now in Oregon, so I wasn't like a hot mess. But my face still looks really, really pretty. And my lipstick, you guys, I haven't even touched up my lipstick. I ate, I drink water, and it's still there, which is amazing. I'm on the website right now because I want to go through this really quick. So it says that it's smoothing weightless powder, which I can definitely agree that it is really weightless, as you guys saw in the tutorial today. It has a soft focus effect that blurs out the pores and texture while controlling excess oil and shine. Yes, I actually do agree. Like, I don't look oily, or what do you guys think? What are your thoughts down below? I feel like I still look pretty good. Like I can still go out and not touch my face up, which is really, really important to me. Also when I'm like out, you know, like at a wedding or a quinceañera, I don't want to constantly keep touching up my face. For the chores that I did today, I moved around, I kissed my dogs, and I don't see any oils peeking through. Like I still have the highlighter where I did place my highlight earlier today. But other than that, I don't feel oily. I feel like, yeah, I feel like it really does control my oils and the shine. And like I said, your oils will never go away. That's just our natural oils that we have. So it's really nice to have a powder that can actually control that. As it sets and extends the wear of your skincare and base products, you'll always be photo ready with this no flashback, no white cast formula, which I 100, or actually I'm gonna say 1000% do agree, because I was taking selfies today with the makeup look that I have on for today. And yes, I can definitely say that it is 100% no white flashback at all whatsoever. So I really did enjoy that. And like I said, I didn't buy the Ultimate Setting Baking Puff. I feel like you personally, I mean, I think I want to say that you don't need it. So I'm going to leave that up to you guys. I don't know how you guys apply your powder. I don't mind using my beauty sponge at all, or a brush. And the puff, I think $14 does seem pretty expensive for a puff. Le hubiera puesto como $8. No, but for real, if you guys are interested in the puff, I'm sure it's amazing. I like how it's customized. Like it's like cut like this. I'll post a picture here. And I like how you can even use that to like cut to your cheekbones, or even do it to how I did early in the video, how I went like this with the powder to set more. So I think that's pretty cool, but I mean, I think I'm fine with just using my sponge. Just personal preference on that. So with that said, my honeys, I absolutely recommend this powder. I love it. Definitely give it a try. If you have it, let me know your thoughts down below. I love it. I definitely recommend it. I love the way that my skin still looks really flawless. I don't have to touch it up right now at all. So with that said, you guys, I love you so much. Thank you for being here and watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a big thumbs up. Cuídense mucho. Besitos, los quiero, and I'll see you guys all in my next video. Bye, guys.